what a week. What a week. Both of us taking losses, just taking L's all the way around the board. We couldn't escape it no matter what. Both of us were taking losses. Yours was very, very obvious because everybody saw it. The Bengals took a loss. We'll talk about it. What is up? Everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meat on the 50, but it is our review edition. So we're changing it. We have 2 shows a week, so why not have 2 different names for the shows? So our Friday weekly show is now Meat on the 50. It's our weekly picks. It'll never change. It's always going to be there. But now our review episode, to keep things short and sweet. It's Brandon's brainchild. The review show is now the good, the bad, the ugly. Welcome back to the brand newly labeled our review show, the good, the bad, and the ugly, where we're going to break it down. We are going to break down all of those 3 things that just took place in the NFL, which was NFL Week 7. And man, oh man, did we have a plentiful of good, bad, and ugly. And we're going to break it all down. And to break it all down, as always, one of my best friends, he has returned from Skull Island. That is US Bank Stadium. That is Minnesota. We're glad he's back. We'll hear about his experience, but he is none other. Well, I guess I am Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys, and he is, of course, one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing, my friend? Glad you made it back. Glad you're home safe. How was your trip? How are you doing? I know it was kind of a rough week.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. How's it going?
Yeah. The 49ers we've hit a rough patch. You can't enjoy the good times without the bad times. I think they say, you can't enjoy the sunlight if there is never any rain, right? Because without any rain, you'd have nothing but a desert. So, I don't know, just trying to use different analogies to kind of get through these couple of weeks. You know how passionate I am about the 49ers and, just a couple rough weeks. And, you hate to see, take 2 back-to-back losses on the road when you just maybe would have done a couple of things different. You might have won. So all in all, really cool to see the Minnesota Vikings stadium. It's state-of-the-art, obviously one of the best stadiums that I've ever been to, and it looks like the Niners will be playing there again next year. So maybe you and I will be talking. Maybe that'd be a cool trip for us, so that you can check that one out too. So I know that you and I want to check out some stadiums together. So hopefully we can check a couple off of our list together. But all in all, Mall of America, very crazy. Never been there. It was
Nice.
insane. I don't know. Have you been there?
I haven't. I don't think I got to Mall of America. No.
Yeah. Crazy. It's so big. You can get lost in there easily. Literally have like an amusement park in the middle of it. So, but Minnesota, very nice.
Ferris wheel.
Yeah, Ferris wheel and some roller coasters.
Yeah.
People in Minnesota, very friendly. Food is very good. Another, they have a lot of cheese curds there. I noticed it's you're so close.
Cheese curds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everywhere. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Yeah. And when people were and they instead of saying excuse me, they say just cool. I had a friend. Yeah, I have a friend that lives there, and she showed me around. Me and my friend around, and it was just it was a good time. Obviously the result I wish would have been different, but they kept it close. So at least it wasn't a blowout. It was looking like it was going to be a blowout, and it came down to the final minute. So it was just kind of cool to see. And obviously, a team is not going to get over the hump if they don't face any adversity. So I'm just trying to look at things realistically instead of being pessimistic. But all in all, a pretty good trip.
Oh, yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good trip. I'm glad you made it back. Yeah, Mall of America definitely is definitely very interesting. I know that they had the Ferris wheel and the roller coasters, but I definitely can only imagine how big it is. So definitely glad you got to do that. Definitely glad you got to experience the good old Minnesota accent, don't you know? Oh, pardon me. Oh, yeah. So I'm happy you had a good trip. I'm glad you enjoyed US Bank Stadium. How was the Skull chant?
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's their own little thing. They really, I saw 49er fans joining in on that. So I guess, people just don't really care. So, but it's a cool little thing they do. I mean, whatever. I don't really have much to say about it.
What was your favorite part of their stadium?
I thought it was pretty cool that that you can. So where I was sitting, I could see there's like an opening, and obviously they have like these big doors that they open up, and it lets the air in. Like, the fact that it's like retractable opens up the doors, and you could see downtown Minneapolis from the inside the stadium. So I thought that was pretty cool. You could see you could see the skyline, and obviously the windows are open. So I think the body heat in the stadium, it's cold in Minneapolis, but I think the body heat,
it keeps you warm.
So I felt really warm inside the stadium. It was really cool. That stadium,
nice.
Architecture is awesome. It looks cool on the outside. I sent you a picture. I was in front of it. And
yep. I'll put it in there.
Okay, cool. And but the inside, just state of the art. The best stadium I've been in so far. I mean, obviously, I still got to go to SoFi, and I still got to check out Allegiant, and I still got to check out Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. But man, that's the best stadium I've ever been to.
How was the food?
In the stadium?
Yeah.
It was all right. I mean, it's just like the traditional, everywhere you go, like, nothing special. I mean, I feel like it's like that at all stadiums. It's all mediocre food that they overcharge for to kind of make up for more, some of the salaries and money that they're, what I'm saying? Like, and that's why a lot of places, they'll sell you tickets for dirt cheap if a team's not doing well, or, or if they are, because they want to try to lure you in to pay for, all the concessions and to pay for the parking. So the Sharks do that, and then there's a lot of like baseball teams, like AAA, AA baseball teams that'll give you free tickets because they know you're going to pay for parking and they know you're going to buy a hot dog, whatever it may be. So I just feel like food at every single stadium is pretty much the same. I haven't really been like, oh my goodness, the food here is so good. It was the same at TD Garden, same at the Broncos Stadium, same at the Cardinals. Same at Barclays, like all these different places that we went to. I'm sure you would agree the food's pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Some places have their differences, but yeah, definitely all I guess stadium food is mostly the same. So yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Unfortunately, we did not get the result that we wanted, but let's just, like I said, we didn't get the result that we wanted. So let's just put the results up on the screen because none of us got the results that we wanted last week. For yourself, 6-7, 0-1 on your guaranteed victory, thanks to Mac Jones's heroics.
Of course, it would be him.
Against the Buffalo Bills. Of course, dude. You talked all that shit about him, dude. He had to get you back some way.
Yeah, I believe so.
The Bills. Bills love being inconsistent. The most consistently inconsistent team in the NFL. One of your phrases that I love. For myself, 4-9, 0-1 on my guaranteed victory, thanks to the Niners. And then for Roy, our guest last week, 5-8, 0-1 on his guaranteed victories because him and I had a double guaranteed victory that the Niners would get the job done on Monday, and they could not. However, I asked Roy to give us his lock of the week and his main lock of the week. He gave two. His main lock of the week, the Denver Broncos and the Green Bay Packers, nowhere near 44.5 points. So if you took the under on that one, hopefully you got some money because, to think that those two teams were going to score more than the points that they did, I don't know what they've been watching. So Roy got one of his locks of the week. There you go, his main locks of the week. Overall for the season, that puts us at, for yourself, 66-40, 6-1 on your guaranteed victories. For myself, 62-44, 5-2 on my guaranteed victories. And for our guest, 43-33, 2-3 on their guaranteed victories, with the Niners letting Roy down last week. Let's wipe those off the screen because we're done with the records. Let's get into it. I mean, let's start with some of the good. Let's just praise some teams. We'll get to the bad in a little bit, and we'll get to the ugly. But let's start with some good. What good, if any, if you're able to see some of the games, what good did you see from week 7?
I just, I think that obviously the Baltimore Ravens, just looking, like a championship caliber team just in that game. Obviously it's everything's on a week by week basis, but Baltimore, huge statement. Detroit is Detroit as good as we thought they were, or is Baltimore just that good? And so I just think Baltimore, I was not expecting them to just blow out Detroit at all. It's one of those games that kind of leaves you speechless, where you're like 38-6. Like, how did that happen? What could Detroit have done better there? And the answer is pretty much everything there. Poor defensive play, poor offensive play. It was just one of those weeks for them. So I just think Baltimore looked really, really good, and just played exceptionally well. And then obviously the other good, Philadelphia playing pretty well. I did not expect them to hold Miami to 17 points. I got to give Philadelphia's defense. I think Philadelphia's defense played very well to hold Miami to 17 points. I thought this was going to be a shootout. I thought Miami was going to win this game, and I was wrong. I think this was a statement game for Philadelphia to say that they're still in the mix. So right now, Philadelphia with that win is definitely the best team in the NFC. So they're definitely. I know that may change in a couple of weeks, but those were the two good takeaways that I had.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, a couple good I saw was the Jags handling their statement game against the New Orleans Saints. No matter how much they tried to give it away, they were able to get the job done. They're on the road in New Orleans. I have the Falcons. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder tries everything in his power to lose games for this team, yet somehow, some way, they find ways to get the job done. Falcons winning games. A win is a win, as they say. So the Falcons doing what they need to do to get these wins on the board and stay competitive, especially in that weaker division. The Falcons definitely could easily fall into the playoffs just by basic luck, because of how well they play sometimes, and then how awful Desmond Ridder plays sometimes. So we'll see what happens, but the Falcons got a big victory there on the road. The Chiefs making another statement victory against a team that they normally either have a really good game against, or they usually struggle sometimes. So they handle business against the Chargers. And we're going to have, you guys will get to meet one of Brandon's friends, Ian, in a couple weeks. He's a Chargers fan, and we're going to get his take on how he thinks the Chargers season is going. But one thing that I noticed from the Chargers is, Justin Herbert a year ago, 2 years ago, getting all these comparisons, all these comparisons to this guy, to that guy. Is he better than this? He might be the best rookie of all time. He's up there with, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's top 3 quarterback and all this nonsense. I don't see it.
No,
I don't see it. I think it could be. I think it's
coaching.
I think it's really a combination. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of bad coaching and bad quarterback play, because the only weapon he's missing is Mike Williams. That team is stacked.
Yep.
there is no reason that team should be losing games.
Yep.
Especially with him at quarterback, how everybody builds him up to be something that he is. So, you know, that's a little bit good mixed with the bad there because I'm focusing on a little bit on the Chargers. But, yeah, you know, Justin Herbert, and we can definitely get more into that. But the Chargers, I don't know. And then, like you said, the Eagles definitely proven that they're the best team in the NFC, getting the job done against the Dolphins, absolutely handling business, basically just stopping Tua, letting Tyreek get a couple, just letting him eat a little bit, but able to reel it back in. The Eagles, it's going to be interesting. You know, the season is kind of starting to separate. You're kind of starting to see some of the competitors, some of the middle of the row, and then some of like just the lower tiers. Philadelphia is definitely up there, and barring some injuries, they are going to be right there in January, basically fighting for that Super Bowl spot. So Philadelphia Eagles making a statement on Sunday night in those Kelly green jerseys against the Dolphins. And then, do I see any more good? Did I have any more good? The Ravens, you know, yeah. Ravens had a one of those performances that the Ravens have sometimes, which is where they go off against a really good team, and then the next week they'll stumble. So I'm not going to buy too much into the Ravens. We'll see what happens. Ravens definitely stopped all Detroit's momentum. So we'll see if Detroit's how they're able to respond. This is kind of the first time that they actually got hit in the mouth. You know, that loss against Seattle, overtime loss. Okay, you can shake it off. This is the first time they actually got like punched in the mouth. So we'll see what happens and how they respond the rest of the season. This might be good for them. So Ravens making a statement against the Lions. On to the bad. What bad do you got for me?
Yeah, there was a lot of bad. I feel like this week.
There was a lot of bad.
I'm going to start with the Raiders. You know, I just didn't, you know, I just
category.
Yeah, I just thought that, you know, I gotta say, you know, obviously they didn't have their quarterback, so, you know, I think that, you know, definitely had to do with it. I'm not a big Brian Hoyer fan, never have been. This dude is just retread journeyman written all
garbage.
Over. Literally, if you had. Yeah, that's basically right. Garbage. If you had retread journeyman, yeah, yep. You see what Jake's holding up there? Yeah, that's exactly Brian Hoyer.
Hi, I'm Brian Hoyer. I play quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. I'm really good.
Where's your jersey at, man? All you need is your jersey. But
yeah, I know.
You know, Brian Hoyer, man, just dogs don't like it. You know. Dogs.
Yeah, see, even these dogs don't like it. Yeah, that's how bad he is.
Yeah. So Brian Hoyer, man, just you know, if you had the definition of, you know, retread journeyman in the dictionary, his little mugshot would be right there. But you know, this is not what I expected, though. I expected. You know, it to be a closer game, and I expected the Raiders to win, so I got to put them in the bad category. But, you know, maybe if they get Jimmy back, that'll definitely help. I think it all has to do with leadership, too. Jimmy just knows how to lead, you know. He may not be the best player, but he's a good leader. And so that's the bad for me. True. Another bad, Buffalo. Yeah, just you let Mac Jones beat you, so not much to say there. Not much else to say there. And then, obviously, I'm going to go to my team. I thought that the Niners played pretty bad. You know, they had an opportunity to win the game, but, you know, defense, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. They're converting on every third down. We're lucky that we held them to some field goals. We could have got lit up. And then turnovers, you know, 2 picks. Brock Purdy had a bad game. Christian McCaffrey obviously is a shell of himself with the injury. You know, fumbling on a key drive. Jake Moody missing a field goal. So this is the way I look at it. You know, Jake Moody missing a field goal. Christian McCaffrey fumbling the ball. Brock Purdy throwing 2 interceptions. And also Juwan Jennings dropping a wide open first down catch in the red zone. For us to only lose by 5 points, I mean, not an ugly performance, but a bad performance. So, just
Yep, I like it.
we had the opportunity to go down the field, and we didn't. So, unfortunate, but glad that we were still a chance to win that game. So those were some of my bets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Raiders, we'll get to them in just a second. The Bills, we'll get to them in just a second. The Lions, we'll get to them in just a second. But the bad I saw was the Rams dropping a game to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're at home. You didn't even need to go anywhere. Oh, my God. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense is hands down winning them all these games. Bad. More bad I saw. The Lions. Well, I guess the Ravens winning. And the Cleveland Browns winning. So even when the Bengals are on their bye week, they still take an L. So I don't know how we lose on our bye week, but seemingly nobody can help out. Any other team, nobody can help out the Bengals. Nobody can beat any of these other teams when they're supposed to. So that was some bad. The Chargers, I've already talked about them, but that is it's just bad. 17 points, bad. I don't care how you spin it. Niners, losing on the road, back-to-back losses, win 15 straight regular season games, now drop 2 in a row, bad. You got to get the weapons involved. If Christian McCaffrey's injured, George Kittle needs at least 15 receptions. Brandon Ayuk needs at least 10 receptions. These guys, not Juwan Jennings, no offense to him, he's definitely solid, but you need to get your stars in the game. And like I texted you earlier, why they don't get Kittle involved in the offense like Kansas City gets Kelsey involved in the offense blows my mind. It makes zero sense. He's a better passing tight end, which means you can easily do little options, little tight end options of him blocking and then breaking off, catching a 5-yard pass, taking it 20 yards, taking it 5 yards, however long. It doesn't matter. He's a much better pass blocker. He's a much better run blocker. He's just a much better tight end overall. Now, Travis Kelce, hard to argue. Best tight end, Gronk, if you saw that clip with Gronk this past week, right? Gronk was even saying that, he was even building up Travis Kelce's 7 1,000-yard seasons. It's kind of hard to deny that he's definitely one of the best tight ends of all time. But Kittle could easily be used in the same magnitude as Travis Kelce. There is no excuse. There is no reason for him not being that other than the unwillingness of Kyle Shanahan. So definitely Kittle needs to be schemed up more. Ayuk needs to be getting more targets if Debo and Christian McCaffrey are more injured. And Christian McCaffrey needs to quite possibly think about sitting out a few games, getting fully healthy. When's the Niners bye? What week?
It's
after?
Yeah.
After this week, right? Yeah. So, the games to sit out would have been these last 2 games. You can't really sit out against this Bengals game now that you have coming off 2 losses. So, it's kind of one of those things with Joe Burrow where you want him to rest. You can take a loss or 2 if he comes back 100%. Now he's going into games 70%, 73%, 72%. So we'll see what happens.
Looks like Brock's not going to play.
Yeah, and I just saw that too. Yeah, Brock. Look, what was it? What is it? Is it a shoulder?
Concussion protocol.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I look at it this way. I just hope these injuries are a early season thing. Get them out of the system and then rest up and get healthy. I'm glad they're happening now.
Here's the thing.
For the playoffs.
Exactly. You're going into your bye next week. Everybody will get a chance to rest up. Debo will get a chance to rest up. Christian McCaffrey will get a chance to rest up. Brock will get a chance to rest up. So this bye actually is coming at a great time for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll see what happens. The Dolphins not able to capitalize on the statement that they could have made on Sunday night. They had a chance to go into Philadelphia and show that they are a very dangerous team. But they showed that offense wins awards and defense is going to win you championships. So it really goes to show that, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, all these guys can be as flashy as they want, but when push comes to shove against these teams, you got to show up. You got to show up. It's great that you can score 70 points against the D3 Broncos. Yeah, the Division 3 Broncos, but you can't score more than 17 points against the last year's Super Bowl team, Philadelphia Eagles. So kind of look yourself in the mirror there, Miami Dolphins. Time to kind of wake up there and kind of start getting things into gear. More bad. Let's see. What other bad did I see that I don't think was ugly? That's about it. Hit me with your ugly.
Obviously the Lions. Obviously we said the good, but we got to do the other flip of the other side of the coin is, the Lions got absolutely destroyed 38-6. And they were supposed to be, they've been talked about as, being the second or third best team in the NFC. And, I don't know if it shifts them very far, but I've lost trust in them a lot after that. I just can't, you got to be able to at least keep it close and give yourself a fighting chance. I mean,
yeah,
you can't just completely unfold on the road against, the Ravens who, they looked like a championship caliber team, but in my opinion are not, I feel like they're mid-tier, they're very mid. So that was pretty freaking ugly. That one right there. I just, yikes. I don't really know what to say, more than that. And then obviously the Commanders, 7 points against Tyrod Taylor. I mean, give the Giants some credit, but I just don't know how you only put up 7 points. I just think that, the Commanders, I just think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. And then another ugly one for me is Green Bay. I don't know how you allowed Denver to score. I mean, I picked Denver, but I don't know how you allowed Denver to score 19 points. I mean, they're not supposed to score more than 10, and that's why I think that's, more than 10 or 12 points. I mean, you should have won that game 11-10. I mean, it shouldn't have been 19-17 and you lose. So I just think Green Bay looks awful. And then obviously you got to throw Arizona in the mix. 10 points. I mean, that's just an all-around ugly team. I mean, that's just the way it is. Seattle didn't even look good, and you only put up 10 points. So those were my uglies of the week.
Yeah, my uglies, the Raiders. It's time to fire Mike McDaniels. The dude needs to go. Needs to go. He is, and I know people want to make fun of Nathaniel Hackett for being probably one of the worst head coaches of all time. Josh McDaniels is the worst head coach ever. All he did was cheat, get busted, fired, had somebody else help him win his own Super Bowls, go to a team and absolutely suck. You let a guy who sat on a couch beat you. You let a guy who joined the team 3 days ago beat you. You let a D2 or D3 undrafted free agent put up 30 points against you. You have got to go. Now you're getting rid of Hunter Renfrow because of how shitty of a coach you are. You don't even know how to coach good players. That's how crappy of a coach you are. You only know how to coach bad people. That's why the team sucks. Holy crap. What moron possibly thinks that it is a good idea to put Brian Hoyer out there instead of your rookie quarterback who I'd rather have a rookie lose. I can swallow a rookie losing a game. Brian Hoyer only putting up 12 points. This dude needs to be out of the league.
Great.
And the fact that Josh McDaniels just brings all his buddies from New England because of Tommy Boy won him his Super Bowls is pathetic. Mark Davis, pathetic. Your father rolling over in his grave. You're pathetic. Josh McDaniels, you suck. You are garbage, bro. Garbage coach. That is ugly. Bills, your favorite phrase, the most consistently inconsistent team in NFL history. It doesn't matter what year of the NFL it is. It doesn't matter how many seasons the NFL is going to go on for. The Buffalo Bills will always be the definition of consistently inconsistent. You let Mac Jones drive down the field with no time on the clock and throw a touchdown to Mike Gesicki, and you let him do that to you? You let him witty on you? The white gritty? Like, oh my God. What is the matter with your team? What is the matter with you guys? I don't understand. Congratulations, Bill Belichick, on your 300th win. The Lions, you touched on it. Ugly. Just ugly. Jordan Love has got to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. You've got to be the worst quarterback in the NFL if you cannot beat the Denver Broncos, dude. They're freaking terrible. Man, oh man. Just some ugly things, ugly performances happening around the NFL. Oh, my last ugly, Derek Carr. Although I understand why he threw it out of bounds, but bro, you can't just yell at Chris Olave because he's not running the route or something like that. Like you either miscommunicated or something happened. There was a miscommunication where he didn't understand that you wanted to throw a go route. So maybe possibly work on that. Maybe possibly work on not waiting until like the fourth quarter to actually try and come back. Just some ugly stuff I saw this week. I mean, just just some ugly stuff. Main things though, Josh McDaniels got to go. Get the hell out of here. You don't need to be in the NFL anymore. Go back to New England, I guess, and be the coordinator there or something. I don't know. Man, George Kittle needs the ball more. Get George the ball more. The Bengals, even on their bye, are taking losses. What the hell is up with that? Chiefs, Eagles, best two teams in football, clearly. Please do not give us a Super Bowl rematch. I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it.
Nope.
Tush push is stupid. I think it's dumb. Good for the Eagles. Good for the Eagles, but the tush push is stupid. All right, got it all out of me. We're on to week 8 because that will do it for the good, the bad, and the ugly. It is our review episode. It is our week 7 review. We're done with week 7. Thank goodness. There was too much bad, too much ugly to go around in week 7 for my liking. So we're on to week 8. We're on to some more NFL action. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Oh, I'm just hoping that it's going to be a better week. It's been kind of been a drought here, but definitely excited, for what's to come. Just got to avoid those injuries.
Yeah, definitely. Got to avoid those injuries. Niners heading into the bye week after this week, coming up after week 8. They'll be heading into the bye week for week 9. And then the Bengals and Niners meet, hopefully, for one of 2 times this NFL season. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it on our next episode, our Meet on the 50, our weekly picks episode, because that is going to do it for this edition. Our first rolling editions, I guess you could say, of the good, the bad, the ugly, our newly renamed review episodes. That's going to do it. My name is Jacob Cutler, one half of the Sports Guys. That is the other half of the Sports Guys. His name is Brandon Sullivan. And until NFL Week 8, Brandon and Jake, we're out.